Mate, boys, have I got a story for you guys? It's my story and I'm sticking to it. I was late, I confess, full on, but I was ready hours ago to send you this message, and in the process of cutting the clips down, editing, I erased the second one, and so I was like, I got to do it all over again. And then I had to run off to the meetings, and it's been a good day. Boise, Idaho, man. All good. Welcome, Ryan. That was a fantastic message. I sure enjoyed it. And all of them, of course, every week, man. Good to hear from you guys, and profound stuff and good reminders. And so part of my trip has been visiting my sister and her husband and their kids here in Boise. My boy Jacob and I headed south a few days ago, visited my eldest daughter and our eldest daughter in Idaho Falls with her little family, and then headed over to my sister's here, and my nephew gave his farewell talk yesterday. And awesome day. The story I wanted to share with you, though, is we got there a little bit early. It's getting situated in the chapel, and all of a sudden this couple walked in, and I noticed them, and I was like, they're not members, She was wearing a sleeveless, but then my sister saw them, and I come to find out that's their neighbors, and they were coming to listen to Jay's talk, my nephew, and so they sat right behind us, and my sister and I were visiting with them. They wanted to know about the sacrament and kind of the lay of the land and everything. And it was just a fun little visit. And it was so kind of them to come to support Jay. And then a few minutes before the meeting started, I was able to actually have a pretty good visit with this cool couple, and a lot of good stuff. They've born and raised, both of them, here in Boise, and so familiar with the church, but they're Catholic, and just good stories and good times talking to them. And the last thing she said to me before the meeting started, she leaned up and she's like, I'm a little worried about Jay. He's just a young guy, and I don't think he's quite ready. He's a little immature, and so it gave me an opportunity to have a good laugh, but B, talk to her a little bit about my experience as a missionary. And yes, we're callow youth, and talked about that from the prophets, but it was, she was sincere about it. It was definitely not a put down, but she was genuinely concerned. And then here comes Jay's talk, and the first thing he said, a little background on Jay. He's 6'5", big kid. He's had a lot of success in football. He's probably going to play after the mission. He's hoping Division I, and he's got all these plans and had a few good offers and things. And first thing he says when he stands up, he says, well, time to get serious. And then he proceeded to, I'm biased, I'm sure, but man, he gave a good talk and a strong testimony of the work of the Lord. Talked about how it really was time for him to leave his childhood behind, and his seminary teacher's husband was the concluding speaker, and he shared a story about Jay. And then the closing testimony was from a member of the stake presidency who's Jay's former bishop. And he said, Jay, I want you to remember, we've quoted Doctrine and Covenants section 4 a lot together over the years, but I want you to remember the last of that. Ask and ye shall receive, knock and it shall be open unto you. And Jay's going to Georgia, and this guy, the stake presidency member, he was in the airport in Georgia just a little bit ago. He says, I had this impression. He says, I really didn't have to go to the bathroom, but I felt this impression to go into the bathroom. And I walk in there, and the first thing I see is this tall elder standing in front of a full-length mirror with his bag on the floor, just staring into the mirror, looking a little bit comatose. And so he walked up to him and, Elder, how are you? And the missionary is like, I don't know. So he says, well, what's going on? He says, my flights have all blown up. I don't have a cell phone. I don't know what to do. And said a prayer asking Heavenly Father for help, and this good brother says, well, here I am. What do you need? And they figured things out, and he just gave some real good counsel to Jay, you know? Work hard, field is white. And with this sweet lady's concerns in my mind, and then after hearing Jay's testimony and these two good brothers confirm it, it felt to me like, you know, it's a lot more than Jay going out to have a good experience and serving other people. And this is the meaning of life. This is one of the great purposes of this planet being built, is for us to be missionaries to our brothers and sisters. And I was just so proud of him and proud of the work. And I thought, you know, that's it. That's a little microcosm of the whole plan. Us coming here, who wouldn't reasonably say, I got some concerns. I don't know if these guys are mature enough to take on the importance of this assignment, you know, and yet, boy, there's sweet examples all around us of, amidst the chaos, spiritual maturity and spiritual growth and focus on Jesus and his work. So, there's my thoughts, boys. I hope you're all doing well. Strike one for me. I'll try to make it up to y'all. Peace.